about a movie me and my girlfriend watched when she was still here last night that I absolutely love. And I haven't seen it for a while, but I've seen this movie so many times and it's still a fucking classic to this day. It is a one of my all-time favorite movies from the year 1994, and I'm talking about the movie that has the line "a royale with cheese" and the line "it's a tasty burger," and of course the line "bring out the gimp." Yes, I'm talking about the phenomenal 1994 crime movie Pulp Fiction, directed by Quentin Tarantino, who is a legendary filmmaker and a truly remarkable filmmaker. I not only love his movies, as in Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, which was his directorial debut, and I absolutely love Reservoir Dogs. I also love Pulp Fiction, including Inglourious Bastards, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Death Proof, part of the Grindhouse movies, and the last movie that apparently he's going to be directing as well in the near future. And I love Tarantino movies so much. Pulp Fiction is just so iconic for so many scenes that are just awesome. Like, the violence is great. The dance scene between John Travolta and Uma Thurman's character is just second to none, pure brilliance. Bruce Willis as acting is so good. I know Bruce Willis these days is not a very healthy person, and that's just very, very sad about that. Bruce Willis' health is declining, but his acting when he was younger as Butch, the wrestler that committed that murdered someone, and he gets asked what is it like to kill a man, and that scene where he has a flashback to his childhood with Christopher Walken, who gives him the watch that supposedly has been up his grandfather's ass. Not his grandfather's ass, his father's ass, but from his grandfather. Just the scenes in Pulp Fiction alone is phenomenal. Not only the scenes, but the opening scene in that cafe with the "I love you, honey bunny," and that scene, and execute every last motherfucking one of you, is just so, so good. I absolutely love Tim Roth's acting in Pulp Fiction. I love Samuel L. Jackson's acting in Pulp Fiction. The cameo right at the end with the Bonnie solution, that ending with Harvey Keitel and Quentin Tarantino himself in the movie Pulp Fiction is just absolutely amazing. And it's just one of those phenomenal movies that is so damn good on 4K. As you can see on the 4K copy of the disc, that is Uma Thurman's character there on the front. I love her character so much. She's just amazing in the film. And yes, she's not in it as much as she is in obviously the other two Tarantino movies, which are Kill Bill Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2, but she's still so good in Pulp Fiction. And that cameo from her very first scene to her very last part of the movie is just so, so good. Her acting is just amazing. It just brings out so many good performances, and it's a wonderful movie. And every actor does a tremendous job in Pulp Fiction. Not only does Uma Thurman act well, Bruce Willis acts well, John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson are absolutely amazing in this movie. Samuel L. Jackson, just the lines he delivers, that whole biblical line from that Ezekiel bit that he mentions is just, before he shoots that character, is just amazing. I absolutely love that scene. I love when he's eating that guy's burger and he's like, "Can I have a sip of your drink?" I think that is absolutely hilarious. Pulp Fiction to me is a dark action crime comedy in a way. There's just so many bits to Pulp Fiction that I personally find to be hilarious. Obviously, there's some very disturbing parts of the movie, like the whole GIMP portion of the movie later on is just what the fuck. Like when that black dude played by Ving Rhames, Marcellus Wallace, when he gets sexually abused, is just fucked up by the GIMP. That scene is just particularly disturbing, but I like the revenge that Bruce Willis takes when he protects him. That is just amazing. Particularly the scene before that where he's finding him in the street and he beats him up in a way. Like you think that that Butch and that character have a grind to pick, but next minute in the scene after his character gets sexually abused, he then Bruce Willis's character then is protecting that character and no longer pretty much is an enemy to him. He pretty much then is protecting him, which I love that scene. I love the scene when grabs from the store after Bruce Willis and Marcellus Wallace are like, you know, captured is just amazing when they have those Red Bulls in their mouth. After that scene, after the whole Gim scene, when Bruce Willis grabs the sword and he cuts that guy, is just amazing. Like the scene in that whole portion of Pulp Fiction when he has a sword is just brutal and gory as all hell. Like that particular portion of the movie is gory as all hell. And I also love the soundtrack to Pulp Fiction. The soundtrack forever is gonna be such a fucking good soundtrack. Like the soundtrack to the movie is so iconic. Like from such songs as you can never tell, which is just wow. That Chuck Berry song, You Can Never Tell, is just so good. It's just one of those Chuck Berry songs that you just want to listen to over and over and over and over and over again. It was a teenage wedding and old folks wished you well. Absolutely love that song. That scene where Uma Thurman's character and John Travolta are dancing together before she wins the trophy and before they go back to her place is just that dance scene alone is amazing. The scene then that is also amazing is when Uma Thurman is by herself and she puts on her record at her fancy ass home with the song "Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon" is just an amazing scene before she sits down to have a cigarette and before she snorts way too much cocaine, before she has an attempted overdose, basically. Even that scene, whoa, I remember that scene like I've watched this movie for the very first time. Like the drug scenes in Pulp Fiction are still iconic and still have the same reaction I get from the very first time I watch it. Like the scene where she snorts too much cocaine and her nose is bleeding and has a bit of an OD is still absolutely nailed into my brain and is still one of those iconic scenes, particularly when later she gets taken to the drug dealer's house that John Travolta drives her to and wants to and tries to get and pretty much gets her saved. The scene where she gets saved and jabs a needling to her chest and her rib bone, and she wakes up and is alert to that. That scene is still absolutely crazy, and it's just a wild movie. It's definitely still obviously going to be an adult movie. It's definitely not one to show children. The movie is full of coarse language, full of violence, drug use. It's still a terrific Tarantino movie, though, and I still love the movie to this day. Like, I cannot wait to rewatch Pulp Fiction on 4K again. Just the movie is so amazing, and the quality of this film, personally, on 4K, the quality is just, it's an amazing movie on 4K. The quality of film on 4K of this movie is amazing. The picture is crisp, clear, and I felt like this movie could have been made yesterday. That's how good the quality of this movie on 4K is. It's just amazing. I thought Reservoir Dogs was amazing on 4K. Pulp Fiction is even better on 4K than what even Reservoir Dogs was. And Reservoir Dogs was so clear and so crisp on 4K as well. Just Pulp Fiction almost feels new every time I watch this movie, whether it be on TV before in the past or whether I've watched it on a copied version of a DVD. It's just, there feels something refreshing about this movie every time I watch it. I know I've seen it so many times. It's just one of those movies you can rewatch in your lifetime for so many years that it still entertains you. Like, everything is still entertaining. Samuel L. Jackson's acting alone is just phenomenal. Whenever Samuel L. Jackson is in any film, Samuel L. Jackson nails his performance on screen in Pulp Fiction from start to finish. So does John Travolta. Uma Thurman's small role in Pulp Fiction is just iconic. I love all her scenes. In fact, I kind of wish she was in the movie a lot longer. I wish a majority of characters were in the film a lot longer. I even feel the same about Tim Roth and his female lover. Like, I know they're in the two scenes in the beginning and end of Pulp Fiction, which are sort of reversed back in a way, or bit back to front, because the scene happens in the start of the movie and then it sort of extends itself towards the end of the movie as well. Like, you see two portions of one of the segments in the beginning of Pulp Fiction, and you also see a certain part from the opening scene in the end of the movie, but it sort of continues on in the end of the movie, and it picks up its pace and you find out more stuff, and the movie concludes with a beautifully amazing, absolute terrific ending when Samuel L. Jackson has the suitcase of money, and, well, he gives money away, and Tim Roth's character, he gives some money away, and he doesn't kill Tim Roth because his character and his lover's character, or Honey Bunny, as Tim Roth calls his female lover in Pulp Fiction, John Travolta and him are wearing not their gangster clothes at the moment, just very casual clothes, and they're putting like the guns in their trousers and they walk out of the cafe, and that's how Pulp Fiction ends. I love the ending of Pulp Fiction. I love the beginning of Pulp Fiction. I love the whole entire movie. Pulp Fiction still is fucking amazing, and everything about this movie still is so iconic. I love, even Christopher Walken's cameo in the movie was hilarious. I still find that scene hilarious about the whole Butcher, and when Butcher was a kid, and how he explained the whole watch scene. That was absolutely, that watch scene up his ass scene in Pulp Fiction is still absolutely fucking hilarious. I still love Pulp Fiction to this day. I'll forever love this movie. It's just amazing. And if in the near future Pulp Fiction comes out to any other form of platform, if there's in the near future 8K and I end up getting like an 8K TV or anything like that, I would definitely get Pulp Fiction on 8K. And even owning it on 4K is just so good. How cool is that front cover? Just absolutely amazing. And the amount of coarse language the movie has is absolutely hilarious. I love the swearing in Pulp Fiction. I think it's hilarious, particularly when it comes out of Honey Bunny's mouth, when it comes out of Tim Roth, when John Travolta swears, when Bruce Willis swears, when Even Quentin Tarantino's cameo in the end of the movie, that scene is absolutely hilarious. Just, I personally think the movie is a mixture of being like your drama, your action, your typical crime movie, but with its own uniqueness by Tarantino. And Pulp Fiction is always going to be a unique movie. It's forever going to be a unique movie. Every Tarantino movie has its own style. Like, you're not going to relate Pulp Fiction to Reservoir Dogs, or you're not going to relate Reservoir Dogs to Pulp Fiction, or Kill Bill Volume 1 or 2, or Inglorious Bastards, or Jackie Brown, or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They definitely feel different in their own way, but they still are awesome movies, and Pulp Fiction still is truly an amazing movie that is worth buying on 4K DVD and rewatching. Amazing movie. Forever will be an amazing movie. Every Tarantino movie will be an amazing movie. His back catalogue of movies are just awesome, and I'm glad I finally own this movie on 4K, and I am going to re-watch it over and over and over and over again in the next couple of weeks or next couple of years, or whenever I choose to rewatch this movie again, because I love Pulp Fiction. I love the quotes in the movie, from the quote about the Royal with cheese, or Samuel L. Jackson's monologue with his Bible quote before he executes someone. The bring out the gimp line, I think, is absolutely hilarious. Obviously, what happens with Vin Rhymes' character is absolutely awful, and I do not condone sexual violence or rape at all, but that particular scene, prior to that portion of the film happening, still is iconic. Eric Stoltz acting is brilliant. Rosanna Arquette is brilliant. Maria Menderos is brilliant. Amanda Plummer is brilliant. Harvey Keitel's acting is so good. Uma Thurman, as always, acts very well. Just the whole cast is amazing, and I'm so glad Quentin Tarantino chose to have Uma Thurman as the bride in Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, and I cannot wait for Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 to be on 4K. Like, I really want to watch that as soon as possible on 4K. I wish that Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 was out on 4K already, because I want to own Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 on 4K as soon as possible. Just like I want to own Django Unchained on 4K, and The Hateful Eight on 4K, and also Death Proof. And there is one I forgot as well. That was, of course, From Dusk Till Dawn should definitely be on 4K, because that Tarantino Rodriguez-y movie, just wow. That movie, From Dusk Till Dawn, is iconic, and I love the way Quentin Tarantino had a small role in that movie. His acting in that movie with George Clooney was absolutely amazing. The fact it started out as a gangster mob movie and then going into a vampire movie, I thought was pretty damn cool. And another one I haven't mentioned as much that I think should be on 4K, even though it's not a full story-based movie. It has different storylines throughout the whole movie, and one of the storylines, I'm pretty sure from memory, Quentin Tarantino directed, and he's in, and I'm talking about the Tim Roth hotel movie, Four Rooms. Four Rooms is just a phenomenal movie, and that movie should also definitely be out on 4K. Another movie that should be out on 4K that Quentin Tarantino helped produce, not particularly directed, and I'm talking about True Romance starring Christian Slater. That movie, True Romance, should definitely be another movie that should be out on 4K, because that movie is absolutely a epic movie as well. Like, there's so many good movies that should soon be released on 4K, and I'm happy now to own one of the most iconic, phenomenal crime epic cult movies on 4K, because Pulp Fiction definitely is a cult movie. It's an amazing movie, though, but it definitely is a cult film and has a cult following. And many people love this movie, though, and I'm definitely one of them. It's one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. I could watch this so many times and I would still not get bored of it. I love the start, the middle, and the ending. The whole film of Pulp Fiction is just a brilliant and epic movie. And in saying that, I'm going to be giving Pulp Fiction on 4K a massive 15 out of 10 star rating. It's just such a good movie. Go grab yourself a copy of Pulp Fiction on 4K, a Quentin Tarantino film. If you've never seen it, do yourself a solid and grab this copy on 4K if you own a 4K TV. But if you don't and you have any other way of getting the movie Pulp Fiction, get it on normal DVD, get it on Blu-ray, get it however you must get the film. Pulp Fiction is amazing and will be a movie that will be amazing to the end of days. And in saying that, I absolutely love this movie, and I'm so glad me and my girlfriend watched it last night. I think we had a ball watching the movie because we both think this movie is amazing. Because it is amazing, and it will be forever a classic, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care, and let me know what you guys think of my Pulp Fiction review. Whether you liked it, loved it, hated it, your thoughts and opinions on the film Pulp Fiction. Me personally loves the movie, just like I love many of other Quentin Tarantino movies. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.